thank you, because I am so grateful for the men and the women who are helping us spread the word socially. And maybe you're wondering, how do I get my name on this list? It's so simple. Just leave us a comment, like, or share this video. If you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, same thing. And I am so grateful for the team behind the scenes who goes through our sermons and chooses the clips that you're seeing on social media. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey everybody, you still have a little bit more time to RSVP for our September Walk and Talk with the Minister. This is our in-person event. It will be next Saturday, September 18th at 9 a.m. And our topic is health. Now this event is simple. All you gotta do is come, have some comfortable walking shoes, and walk with us. I've chosen a location that doesn't have any hills or elevation, so this is perfect for all fitness levels. Come be a part of this event. And so I want to let you know that if you've already RSVP'd, you've already gotten a communication from me, but there's still room for us to add more people. This is Saturday, September 18th at 9 a.m. And when you RSVP, I will give you the location. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to get out on the field with you and walk around and just chat and connect. And of course, we'll be following COVID protocols. So we'll be wearing our masks and being physically distant, but still being together in community. All right, can't wait to see you next Saturday.
Peace and blessings up, church. How are you? I am so excited to be with one of my favorite music directors and musicians ever, Noriko. She invited me to sing and perform for you today my latest single, Look at You Now, from my project, My Father Star. My Father Star is so important to me. It's dedicated to mental health awareness, suicide prevention, and soul care. It's a conversation that we really need to have, and I'm so excited to be able to utilize music and arts to uplift people, to assist people to heal and grow and transform and connect to the spirit and to love and light and know that they're important, that you're important. To remind you that you are a gift, and no matter how hard it gets, don't ever give up. Don't ever give up, because you are God's child and you are so special and you are so divine. Thank you for having me. And just remember to never, ever, ever dim your light for anyone or anything, including yourself. Now go out and shine like the star you are. Peace and blessings, rays of light. Mwah.
When your hope is fading and you're ready to close the book, and you're hesitating to give it one more push, just close your eyes and visualize the ones who came before you. Go ahead and cry, just realize that we'll be here to support you, screaming. You did it, you made it. It's so easy to cave in. You did it, you faced it. So strong you never gave in. You weren't defeated. The road was hard, but look at you now. Oh, look at you now. When your world is caving and your days are filled filled with gloom, and you're contemplating, to end it all too soon. Just close your eyes and visualize the ones who came before you. Go ahead and cry, just realize that we'll be here to support you, screaming. You made it. It's so easy to cave in. You did, you faced it. So strong you never gave in. You weren't defeated. The road was hard, but look at you now. Look at you now, now that the sun is shining, and it's brighter than it's ever been. Now that everybody's on the sidelines, cheering you on to win. Now your darkest days are over, and the clouds have gone away. You can lift your head to the sky and listen to the angels sing. Look at you now. Look at you. You made it. Look at you now. You made it. You did it. Look at you now. You made it. Hey, look at you now. Look at you now.
That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Oya. Thank you so much. And welcome to Up Church. Welcome to Up Church. We're so glad to have you. Thank you for the gift of your music. And Noriko, thank you. Thank you. You continue to help us expand the sound of Up Church. The sound of Up Church is growing, family. We are stretching and becoming more. And I hope you're ready for the ride. All right, I am Reverend Sherri James. I want to welcome you into our virtual service. We have some amazing things planned for you through this series today, but also through this series. And I'm excited for you to be here, to be a part of that. Couple of housekeeping things. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share if you're watching this on YouTube. It's just really easy. Go ahead, leave us a comment down below. Tell us if something resonated with you, put it in the comments. We want to hear about it. And of course, if you're on Facebook, same thing. Make sure that you like our page, that you subscribe to it or join or whatever the terminology is to connect to the page. And that will make sure that whenever we upload new content, you'll be the first to know about it. All right, we've got some exciting things. For the opening prayer, I'm going to be sharing with you the prayer from one of the three groups. This one was the group that Reverend Sheree led during our Ministry Development Weekend. I also want to let you know that the next Ministry Development Weekend is coming up in January 2022. So you definitely want to be a part of that. Mark your calendars for that. I think we're going to try to do it in early January. So just want to put that out there so that you can be a part of that. It is open to everyone. And it is one of the ways that we grow as a community, that we take time to come apart and really develop ourselves so that we're really good at doing church. All right. Would you pray with me? And I'm going to read the prayer, but it's going to be on your screen as well. So let's just center ourselves and know together that Up Church is God's perfect idea. We wholeheartedly say yes and claim our perfect building for worship, education, fellowship, spiritual growth, and community outreach. Thank you for our loving spiritual community who supports the ministry generously with time, talent, and treasure. We are spirit in expression, on one accord, and in the flow of God's lavish abundance of health, wealth, ideas, and resources. Our church home is filled with joy and love and creates a space for healing. We manage our new facility under grace in a perfect way. Thank you that we meet every growth opportunity with courage, strength, and abundant supply. We release this prayer in full expectation that this prayer is now manifest. We trust God for this or something better. And so it is. And amen. I want to tell you a little bit about UPCHURCH. We are the living legacy of Reverend Dr. Della Reese-Lett. We are the people that she sowed into in her lifetime. And she gave us a message of oneness with God, that God is your partner, that God is everything. And we are taking that message out to a new generation to share with them what she shared with us, that to charge them with the same energy and fire that she passed on to us. I always think about that you can't wake up in someone else what is not awake in you. And so I think about how powerfully Reverend Della embodied this understanding of oneness with God, and embodied it so much that years after her lifetime, we are carrying on in this tradition, that fire is still burning, that the torch was passed and the fire was not quenched. The fire was not put out. So we have a vision. Our vision is to love every person up to their true identity and to their highest potential for the greater good of all. And we are on a mission to express God's divine love through teaching spiritual principles, worship services, fellowship activities, and community outreach. And our theme this year is Open Your Mind. Now, this has been an amazing year. We've been virtual the whole year. And we are stepping into a new dimension as we claim our divine right space as a spiritual community. And this is a journey that we're all locking arms together to make this so. And I'm excited to take this journey with you. My sermon today is Let God Give You the Plan. We're in a series, I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. We're in a series called Move Into Your Promised Land, an Adventure in Faith. And the lesson today is all about let God give you the plan. Let's take a moment right now. We're just going to slow down and just quiet ourselves because we want to make sure that we are fertile soil for what is to come. Right where you are, the power and the presence of God is. The beauty, the joy of God is. So let's settle into our seats and allow ourselves to be loved by the one power and one presence. May our hearts be opened to that loving, kind spirit of absolute good. May we be healed of any maladies, any challenges. May we know with clarity that we are God's beloved. Just take a deep breath. And allow yourself to be loved. Allow yourself to be nurtured. Allow yourself to be cared for. We just relax in the awareness that we are divinely protected at every moment of every day. We are protected. At every moment of every day, we are surrounded in love. We're surrounded in peace and joy. As we bring this moment of quiet to close, we simply give thanks that right where we are, the power and the presence of God is, and all that we need is provided. Thank you, God. And so it is.
I hope you all enjoyed that beautiful meditation. I cannot emphasize how important it is for you to come apart, to let God be God in you. I'm Reverend Sheree Thompson, and it's my joy to be with you today. I'm here to welcome you to UPCHURCH. So, for those of you who are our regular friends, who are our devoted members, I just want to say thank you on behalf of all of the leadership of UPCHURCH. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your devoted service. We appreciate you. We exist because of you. We are here to serve you. And I want those of you who may be just finding us, I just want you to know that we're so grateful that you found us. We open our arms of love to you, and we pray that you hear something today that is exactly what you needed to hear to break through whatever is in the way of your highest good. You see, that's what we are great at. We are great at the breakthroughs. We're great at giving you the principles. We're great at giving you the spiritual practice that will crack any issue that you're working with, because we know the power and presence of God abides in you as you, and we just get all the gunk out of the way so that you can express God to its fullest in you. If you are interested in being part of a spiritual community with this kind of focus, with this kind of loving emphasis, I want you to consider joining UPCHURCH. All that you need to do is take the first step. Let us know you're interested. You see, we will meet you where you are and guide you along the way. We are so grateful, so grateful that you found us. And we want you to know who you're worshiping with. So, family, I know you know how to do this already, but if you're visiting, let me pull you in. This is how we fellowship with one another during our service. We do it during our live chat, right? So, all that you do is tell us your spiritual name. Introduce yourself to one another with your spiritual name. All that you do is take I am plus a quality of God. Take I am plus a quality of God and introduce yourself using your spiritual name. And I'm going to give you a hint. I want you to pick that power of God, that presence of God, that attribute of God that you want to see more of in your life, world, and affairs. So I'll start first. I am power. What's your spiritual name? Feel free to add it in the chat. I know that there's love out there. I know that there is abundance and prosperity. I know that if you keep chatting along with us, you will meet power, you will meet wisdom, you will meet all of these beautiful attributes of God that have come to worship today. And so I want to encourage you to go ahead. Now, if you're not live chatting, you still must play along. And I want you to go ahead and enter your spiritual name in our comments. You can do that anytime, no matter when you see this video. We would love to be with you in this way. So go ahead and add that to the live chat. Now, I'm going to leave you now and I'll be back, but I want you to know that what's coming up next is a powerful daily inspiration. And so for September and October, this is a 2-month publication, Daily Inspiration for Better Living. You can get your copy from us. Just reach out, upchurch@upchurch.org, or you can go to ufbl.org and order your subscription from there. So without further ado, let's hear the daily inspiration.
Hi, my name is Jordan, and today I'll be reading the daily inspiration. I am expanding spiritually. To make my spiritual expansion a part of my daily life, I take this statement of truth into my prayer time. I am expanding spiritually. I ponder it deeply, seeking to assimilate it in consciousness after prayer and meditation. I wait in the silence for the revelation of what it means for me. I know there is a law of spiritual and mental growth that constantly working to raise me to new heights of spiritual awareness. I harmonize it with it and await its fulfillment in my life. As I make a personal connection with the law by praying, meditating, and sitting in the silence, seeking wisdom and understanding, I affirm there is a law of spiritual and mental growth constantly at work in my mind and affairs. I am one with the infinite law of spiritual expectation and wisdom, and so it is. The law of the Lord's is perfect, refreshing the soul. The statutes of the Lord are trustworthy, making wise the simple. Psalm 19 in verse 7.
So powerful words with daily inspiration. Now it's our time to speak the word of power for ourselves. It's our affirmation of power time. And so we're going to work with our new affirmation that is really all immersed in our adventure in faith. And so I'm going to speak it once and then we will affirm together. Okay. I am ready for my adventure in faith. I am ready for spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, relational, social, vocational, and financial growth. The life of God moves in me, and I am energized and alive. I am ready, willing, and able to move into my promised land now. Let's affirm that together. I am ready for my adventure in faith. I am ready for spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, relational, social, vocational, and financial growth. The life of God moves in me, and I am energized and alive. I am ready, willing, and able to move into my promised land now. And so it is. Let's work with this new beginning. Today is the first week of our adventure in faith. Hopefully you were able to join us for Kickoff Sunday. And if you didn't, it's okay to go back and watch that one again, because we want to make sure that you have all the information you need in order to succeed in this endeavor. We have a powerful adventure, and we want to make sure that we minimize your risk and raise up the opportunity that's in front of you. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go listen to last week's sermon. But coming up next, Reverend Sherri is going to break down a little bit more so that we're all clear about everything involved with Adventure in Faith, specifically your small group experience.
All right, today is the day. So last week was our kickoff. Today is day one of Adventure in Faith. And this is entitled Move Into Your Promised Land. So those of you that have signed up for small groups, you've already gotten your assignments, you've gotten your discussion questions and the things that you guys are going to be working with. Our small groups begin to work this week. So if you're in the Monday group, your first meeting is on Monday. If you're in the Tuesday group, your first meeting is on Tuesday, and so forth. And the discussion questions are really there to just to foster discussion for the points that we're sharing with you to really, really deepen in your spirit. So we're in this becoming process together, and the small groups are part of supporting you in that. So we still have a few openings left, and I believe Reverend Sheree sent out an email to let you know what those group openings are. I also want to let you know that we opened up a Tuesday evening spot for 7 p.m. Pacific. So if there are people who can work with a Tuesday evening at 7 p.m., I want to make sure that you know that that's available. So using the link below, down in somebody said that, but they don't know what I mean by the show notes. Those are the notes underneath the video. So it's like the text underneath the video on YouTube, or sometimes on Facebook, it's on the side. In there is a link that you can click, but you can also go to our website and sign up for your small group, upchurch.org. But I want to encourage you to really, really, really dial into this. This is going to be really an important series. There is a change that is happening in our community, and rather than simply letting change happen, we're actually guiding the change. So, all right, I can't wait to see who we are on the other side of this series. Now I'm gonna hand it over to our music team, and then we'll get into the lesson.
Prayer will change you. Everything else will rearrange itself. You can change you. You don't have to change anybody else. Prayer is your victory. It doesn't really matter what the battle may be. You need a change in your life today. Go somewhere and pray. Prayer will change you. Everything else will rearrange itself. You can't change you. You don't have to change anybody else. Prayer is your victory. It doesn't really matter what the battle may be. If you need a change in your life today, go somewhere and pray. What you need to do is pray until the peace no longer lets you be. You need to pray until the mountain is no longer steep. You need to pray until all doubt is gone, until you know that you can carry on. If you need a change in your life today, go somewhere and pray. Oh, prayer's your answer. It's the way that you accomplish what you need. You have power. God created you to be
That song is one of my favorite songs. You need to go somewhere and pray. And see, when I first heard that song, I thought of it the way we used to say it when we were on the, in the playground when I was growing up. You need to go somewhere. You need to go somewhere. And so when I heard you need to go somewhere and pray, I just thought that's just absolutely perfect. But it's true. You do need to go somewhere and pray. And the reason that you need to do that is really the subject of today's lesson, which is to let God give you the plan. Let God give you the plan. This is our focus for the week, but I want to talk about what that actually means to let God give you the plan. I don't know if that's 100% clear. And so I want to make sure that you have an understanding of what that means to let God give you the plan. Now, for Adventure in Faith, we are using the story of Joshua and the battle at Jericho as the foundation for these lessons. So one of the things that we're going to ask you to do in preparation for this is to simply read that chapter in Joshua on a daily basis, right? Because you're letting this seep into your soul. So let me read you the portion of chapter 6 that we're going to focus on today. It is the first 5 verses. Now Jericho was securely shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in. And the Lord said to Joshua, "See, I have given Jericho into your hand, its king and the mighty men of valor. You shall march around the city, all you men of war. You shall go all around the city once. This you shall do 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark. But the 7th day you shall march around the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow the trumpets. It shall come to pass when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet, that all the people shall shout with a great shout. Then the wall of the city will fall down flat, and the people shall go up every man straight before him." That is Joshua chapter 6, verses 1 through 5. My thesis today is that you must see it in your mind before you can have it in your hand. You must see it in your mind before you can have it in your hand. So before I give you the 3 points that I want to focus on, I want to talk a little bit about our purpose for this series. Our purpose is to build the consciousness of oneness with God, so that you are ready to move into your promised land. Now, let me break that down, because consciousness is one of those big words. It's used in the spiritual community, it's used in the scientific community, it's used in the Hotep community, it's everywhere. What I mean by consciousness is I mean your daily habits. What do your daily habits say about what you actually believe? So when we're talking about a consciousness of oneness with God, we are talking about a set of daily habits that demonstrate or prove to you or deepen in you an understanding of your oneness with God. You cannot tell me that you have a consciousness of health and nothing in your life looks like health. You cannot tell me you have a consciousness of wealth and nothing in your life looks like wealth. Our consciousness is embodied by our daily habits. So our purpose in this series, and this is why we have the small groups, our purpose is to build consciousness so that you are ready to move into your promised land. There is a becoming process that happens in every effort. So this is why we encourage you, those of you that got the material, but those of you that haven't, I want you to get involved in a small group. We encourage you to identify your promised land. Identify where it is that you are asking God to take you. And here's the thing, pick a goal. Don't wait for the perfect right goal. Oh, I don't know what my promised land is. Pick something. Pick something, because what happens is that there's a becoming process. Even in the mundane, there is a becoming process. And people who get things done can get things done. And so there is this process of becoming. The way that we become the people who can possess our promised land as a collective is that we each individually do it. We are as strong as our weakest link. And no one's weak, but you know what I mean. We are as strong as our weakest link. So if we have a community of people who individually possess their promised land, that means that you have the habits, the behaviors, the attitudes, the energy to have what God desires for you. Well, what you think you do when you get involved in a ministry? You're going to bring all that same talent into whatever ministry you're involved in. You get on the board, you're going to bring that same energy to the board. So this is a becoming process. This is how this all connects together. As a community, we are building consciousness. When you see that word consciousness, I want you to substitute daily habits. We are building daily habits to move into our promised land, a new physical location. There are daily habits that we are developing. And your part is to work on your individual promised land. But what happens is that you improve and you bring those improvements into your volunteer service at UPCHURCH. And guess what? We benefit because you grew. So we have small groups. And so I'm going to give you kind of the setup for how the small groups are meant to work. Every week, you're going to have discussion questions that will be emailed out to the group. You will make use of the sermon. So you'll take this sermon, you'll take the kickoff sermon, and you'll be able to utilize that as part of your discussion. The groups are only 45 minutes in length. If you choose to go longer, what we would definitely ask is that you close out the business of the meeting, and then, anyone who wants to stay on longer. So that way we honor everyone's time. But the format to use during your discussion is an opening prayer. Then you'll read the passage. So for example, this week it is Joshua 6, 1 through 5. So you're going to read together Joshua 6, 1 through 5. You'll go through the discovery questions. You'll talk about the unfoldment. This week is spiritual unfoldment. And so what does it mean to let God give you the plan? You'll have an affirmation for the week, and then we'll receive any prayer requests that you have, and then a closing prayer. And so in terms of preparing for this adventure, because I want you to be ready, this is the time to claim, when we're doing this collectively, this is the time to make those claims big. Make them really, 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 really big. So the first thing I want you to do is to read Joshua chapter 6 every day. Every day. It's simple. It's not long. It's something that you can read in the morning or read before you go to bed. Read Joshua chapter 6 every day. And then what you want to do is get a notebook or a journal to record your insights. I promise you, maybe if you haven't done this kind of exercise before, you may not know how powerful it is. But when you read that scripture every day there will be fresh new insights. And there will be things that you will see on day 30 that you could not have seen today unless you read it today. You can't make up for the unreading, if that makes sense. So that there are insights that come. And when you come at it every day, there is this, it's like peeling back an onion. And so I want you to re-listen to the kickoff sermon, re-listen to today's message. And I want you to really spend time, if you haven't done already, thinking about what is your promised land. Where are you asking God to take you? Remember, you determine the what, God determines the how. Where are you asking God to take you? And then describe your promised land in grand detail. Use every sense. And then we have a covenant. And I want you to read the covenant each day. And the covenant is, I am ready for my adventure in faith. I see the divine opportunity designed just for me. And I wholeheartedly say, yes, God. I am strong. I will withstand the temptation to dream small or stay the same. I am courageous. I travel as the power, love, and life of God. I have no reason to fear. Nothing can stop me. I think thoughts, feel feelings, and speak words that reflect my promise being fulfilled. I live in a state of perpetual gratitude. I move on up. I move into my promised land now. All right, so that's getting started. So let me give you the lesson really briefly. I got 3 points for you. Point number 1, it's a feeling thing. Point number 2, I want you to imagine victory with your whole body. And point number 3, I want you to feel it until you're on fire with it. Feel it until you're on fire with it. So point number 1, it's a feeling thing. One of the lessons that Reverend Della gave that really stayed with me, and it was the character of her life, is that God is a feeling thing. And I remember, gosh, this had to be 2011, 2012, somewhere in there. I would go up to her home at Bel Air, and I would come in her room, and she was sitting in the bed, and I would sit at the edge of the bed, and we would just talk. And I don't even remember how the subject came up, to tell you the truth. But she said it's a feeling thing, and she had her hand like on the sternum, and she was like, it's a feeling thing. And I saw this kind of change in her face, if you will. And she was saying, you've got to feel after God, that it's a feeling thing. She would sometimes say during sermons, if you don't feel nothing, you ain't got nothing. And that stayed with me because, again, I want to understand this relationship with God. I want to, I've idolized the way that she lived and how she embraced God as an everyday living experience. And so I wanted to embody that. And here's what I learned. Every experience begins as a feeling. Now, here's the thing. Most of us are so disconnected from the life that we're creating that we're not present to the feelings we were feeling until the experience shows up. Okay. Meaning that I don't know I'm in a bad mood until I get into an argument with you. But I was in a bad mood before I got into the argument with you. Because if I wasn't in a bad mood, there's nothing that you could say or do that could loop me into a bad mood. So every experience begins as a feeling. Your whole life is essentially your feelings pushed out into expression. With Joshua, what is being demonstrated in this scripture is how he is working with God to feel the victory before the victory is had. Every experience, the battle at Jericho had not happened, but in his quiet time with God, he went through the fullness of the experience before he ever took any action. Every experience begins as a feeling before it is ever a lived experience. And so what you want to do as a metaphysician, as a spiritual giant, is you want to begin to stir up the feeling for what it is that you desire, rather than waiting until you get to the experience, thinking that somehow you're going to be able to do something about it then. The experience showed up because of what you were feeling. Sometimes we may not even be present to some of the feelings that we have. We may not even know consciously that we may feel inadequate or feel unworthy or feel sad until an experience shows up to basically reflect back to us what it is that we are feeling. This is powerful stuff, and I really, really, really want you to really dig into this, because if you get this, we got this. And so what that means is that with your promised land experience, it's a feeling thing. It's a feeling thing. That means that before your promised land gets here, or the way your promised land gets here, is that you feel it, that you experience it before you actually have it. Point number 2, imagine victory with your whole body. This is bring every sensory part of yourself into expression: your sight, your sound, your touch, your smell, your hearing. Before Joshua made a move into Jericho, he could see it, taste it, touch it, feel it, smell it, right? That's what you're looking for. You want to bring your whole self to it. There's this commercial, I know you can find it, and some of you are familiar with it, but there is the Richard Williams. I can't wait to see this movie about the Williams sisters and their father, Richard, because he disciplined these girls in how to see it, feel it, hear it, taste it, touch it, right? And that's so powerful. And the commercial was with Serena, and she's Jordan's age, and she's got the tennis racket, and he's like, see it. And it's beautiful that they have the archive footage, and he's like, I want you to see it just like you're at the US Open. And then they cut to her at the US Open. That we have the ability to be there before we ever go there. Where you dare to go in the mind, you absolutely will go in the body. And so you want to imagine it with your whole body. Bring everything into it. And so maybe you've got a big exam coming up. So what I want you to do is I want you to hear them tell you that you passed. It's that simple. I want you to see yourself celebrating with the people that you would celebrate with because you passed. I want you to mock up a certificate that says, I passed. You got to see it, hear it, taste it, touch it, smell it. Make the dream real in your mind, and victory is assured. This is so powerful. This is so very powerful. And I want you to get that these first 5 verses occurred in Joshua's mind. These first 5 verses all happened in Joshua's mind, and it's a complete sensory experience. He heard the sound of the ram's horn. Now, here's the thing. I know you have the ability to do that. Let me show you something. Some of you, your parents may no longer be on this earth plane. I want you right now to hear the sound of your mom's voice. And I want you to hear something that she would have said to you. That was just classic mom. Now, especially if your mom is not in the body form. Who said it? And who heard it? No mouth moved. No sound, physical sound traveled, but you heard it. And so you want to use your sensory organs, your sight, your sound, your smell. Maybe you have a family member, maybe your dad was an amazing cook, or is an amazing cook, and you bring to mind the smell of something that you love that he made when you were growing up. Now, there's no food near you, there's no restaurant near you, and yet you can bring to mind the smell of something that you love. This is how you win. See, Emily Cady said, victory is first won in the silence of your own being. And so what I want you to get is that what Joshua is having is an immersive experience with God, where he is being bathed in a sensory bath of the experience that he desires before he ever has the experience. And so I named the lesson, Let God Give You the Plan, because I contend that many of us are leading lives of mediocrity and just ordinariness because we haven't learned how to let God really give us the plan. It is a sensory experience from head to toe where you feel it with your entire being. It's all you know, it's everything. And you can feel it. You know it as if it happened. As if it happened. So point number 3, I want you to feel it until you're on fire. I want you to feel it until you're on fire for it. So you have to be set on fire for your desired outcome. Every lack of success or place where there was no success in your experience was a place where the fire had not been fully turned on. Because when the fire is turned on, that momentum carries you over limitation. And so if you are not on fire for the outcome, you're not done receiving the plan. It's that simple. If you are not on fire for the outcome, you are not done receiving the plan. How do you know it's time to take action? You're on fire. You're not on fire? Go back. Go somewhere and pray. Go somewhere and pray. Stay with the vision until you fairly sizzle with zeal for the outcome. Because when you have that kind of energy, nothing and no one can stop you. You are unstoppable. But you have to stay in that quiet space with God, listening until it's a feeling in you so deep that it doesn't matter if there are any naysayers. It doesn't matter if there are any doubters. It doesn't matter if there are any quitters. If you start with one team and that team falls out, you keep going. You want to feel it until you're on fire with it. All right, let's review. You have to see it in your mind before you can have it in your hand. Point number 1, it's a feeling thing. You want to get it in your body. Point number 2, you want to imagine victory with your whole body. It's a sensory experience. You want to activate every sense. Activate your sight, your sound, the smell, the touch, the hearing. And point number 3, you want to feel it until you're on fire for it. Let it burn in you until all you can do is to think about taking action for it. God bless you.
I feel your spirit all over me. I feel your spirit all over me. It's in my head and in my soul, down in my feet. I feel your spirit all over me. I feel your spirit all over me. I feel your spirit all over me. It's in my hands and in my soul, down in my feet. I feel your spirit all over me. I feel your presence all over me. I feel your presence
All right, family, it is time to support your spiritual center and help us take this message global. Made it so easy for you to support UpChurch. Contributions to our ministry can be made online. You can text UpChurch to 73256, or you can go to upchurch.org and click on the give button, or you can make your gift via Cash App. Our Cash App ID is $UpChurchLA, or you can mail in your gift. And remember, we have a new mailing address, 3108 Glendale Boulevard, number 547, Los Angeles, 90039. That we have come to share. Would you read along with me? Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love and I trust God. All right, let's back up that blessing with a declaration. We want to send this seed out with energy, enthusiasm, and expectancy. I am in the flow. I give generously and I receive abundantly. I am a massive giver and a gracious receiver. All right, family, let's have some announcements and then I'll be back to close us out. Every week, I do a new thank you because I am so grateful for the men and the women who are helping us spread the word socially. And maybe you're wondering, how do I get my name on this list? It's so simple. Just leave us a comment, like or share this video. If you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, same thing. And I am so grateful for the team behind the scenes who goes through our sermons and chooses the clips that you're seeing on social media. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey everybody, you still have a little bit more time to RSVP for our September Walk and Talk with the Minister. This is our in-person event. It will be next Saturday, September 18th at 9 a.m. And our topic is health. Now this event is simple. All you gotta do is come, have some comfortable walking shoes, and walk with us. I've chosen a location that doesn't have any hills or elevation, so this is perfect for all fitness levels. Come be a part of this event. And so I want to let you know that if you've already RSVP'd, you've already gotten a communication from me, but there's still room for us to add more people. This is Saturday, September 18th at 9 a.m. And when you RSVP, I will give you the location. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to get out on the field with you and walk around and just chat and connect. And of course, we'll be following COVID protocols, so we'll be wearing our masks and being physically distant, but still being together in community. All right, can't wait to see you next Saturday.
Blessings, it's Oya again. I hope you enjoyed my single, Look at You Now, for my project, My Father's Star. The project that is dedicated to mental health awareness, suicide prevention, and soul care. And the music from this project scores a documentary that I produced and directed called Ending the Pain. It is a suicide prevention documentary with 7 suicide survivors that we now call life ambassadors that are lending their time and energy to help save lives around the world. You can find out more information about Ending the Pain at endingthepain.com and my website, spiritofoya.com. Thank you, and peace and blessings.
Thank you so much for being a part of today. I am knowing that you got something amazing from this experience. And I am knowing that you now know how to let God give you the plan. You are no longer confused about what to do. Come talk to me in the after party. I can't wait to hear how this resonated with you. And I want to know how excited you are to get started with your small groups. Remember, there's enough room with a couple of more groups. We've got a Tuesday night slot that we opened up. And so I want to encourage you to go ahead and click the link and sign up and be a part of the small group. All right, let's take our prayer of protection, and then I'll see you in the after party. Would you read along with me? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And so it is. All right, family, have an absolutely beautiful day, and I'll see you in the after party.